Person joining us. I'm sorry? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, are you smelling smell or just okay, sure. Yeah, absolutely. There we go. Hi, Mindy. We're all set here. All right, so great to see everybody. Happy Wednesday. So for those of you I haven't met yet, my name is Meredith. So I'm guest teaching for Naomi for tonight, and then I think for at least one more week before she comes back. So great to see you all. Tonight's class is going to be a moderate mindful flow. So really moderate. It's still going to be very much accessible to all levels wherever you are in your practice. But we'll be moving at a little bit of a faster pace once we get going here. I'll be offering lots of different modifications as we go along. So I really encourage you to take whatever version of the pose feels right in your own body and make the practice your own tonight. So make sure you get what you came looking for. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to start off a little bit differently tonight. We're actually going to come down onto our backs and start off in a Shavasana. I'm just going to be this way so you guys can see me as needed. So just go ahead and relax down onto your backs. You can draw your arms alongside your body. You may allow your palms to be face up. And then just taking a moment, you can go ahead and scrunch your shoulders up towards your ears and then draw them back down again away from your ears, away from your head. Draw your palms out maybe just a little wider, really finding some space on the back of the shoulder blades here. And then bringing some attention to your legs and your feet. You can start by drawing your pinky toes further out. So drawing your pinky toes closer to the floor, spreading your feet wide, toes apart. And then we'll reverse that, rolling on the heels. You can draw your big toes together to touch, maybe even crossing the tops of the feet over each other. Just a little stretch in the hips here. And then releasing that, just allowing the toes to fall out gently to the side. Feeling the hip bones spreading out into the mat. And then as you're ready, you can go ahead and close your eyes or find a soft gaze here. And just begin to tune into the body. Beginning to arrive in this space. Feeling yourself taking up this environment. Feeling yourself grounded on your mat, physically present in this room with each other. Noticing all of the points of contact between the mat and your body. Just feeling yourself being completely supported and held by your mat, by the ground beneath you here. And then maybe drawing your attention to your thoughts just for a moment. Just noticing if we're maybe feeling a little distracted or a little bit monkey-minded tonight. Or maybe we're already fully present and dropped in. Whatever's here is perfect. It's as it is. We don't need to change anything. We're just observing, just noticing the quality of our thoughts here. And then you can slowly bring your attention to your breath. Noticing the next inhale as your lungs slowly fill with air. Noticing the next exhale as your lungs empty, feeling your belly slowly soften at the end of the exhale. And continuing to observe your own breath in this way. Just keeping your attention here, maybe 2 or 3 more breaths, feeling your body move slightly with the rhythm of your breath here. We'll take a couple of communal breaths to open our practice tonight. So before we begin, go ahead and draw your right hand to your heart, your left hand to your belly. Just resting your hands here for a moment. And then we'll all slowly exhale to begin. And then take a big, deep inhale through your nose. And a big, soft exhale out through the mouth. Another one like that, inhaling deeply through the nose, feeling your hands rise with your belly, with your lungs. And soft exhale out through the mouth. Feeling your hands slowly sinking back into your body. A couple more like this, nice and deep, in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more. And then at the end of the exhale, maybe squeezing your belly a little bit right at the end, getting rid of any last remaining air. And then you can seal your lips and just return to your normal breath rhythm here, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And then allowing your hands to fall back down by your sides, we'll gradually open the eyes. Just taking a moment to arrive back in the room here. And from here, we're going to go ahead and keep the right leg extended long. Draw your left knee in towards your chest. Interlace your fingers over the front of your left knee. And then use the grip in your hands to draw your knee a little closer to the shoulder here, squeezing it in. Your left heel and your extended leg is pressing away, finding some length there. And then keeping your left hand on your knee where it is, we're going to use the left hand to draw the knee out to the left side of the body, just a little bit, just opening the hip here. And then slowly drawing the knee back through the midline, switching hands, so right hand to left knee, and just squeezing the knee just gently towards the side of your body. Both hips stay grounded here, so it's not a full twist, just a subtle movement. And then we'll take it back into the center, give it one little squeeze, and then extending the left leg long. We'll take the right knee into the body this time, finding an interlace grip, maybe taking the opposite interlace here. Squeezing the knee up towards your shoulder as you this time press your left heel away. And then taking the right knee into your right hand, slowly rolling it towards the side of your body, maybe a little closer to your armpit. And then slowly drawing it back through center, bringing the knee into the other hand, and then slowly drawing it over towards the left side of the body. Back in through center. One more little squeeze here. And then extending that leg long. From here, we'll go ahead and bring the soles of your feet to the mat. So bending both knees. So the insoles of your feet are touching here, zipping your feet up from toes to heels, and then allow your knees to fall out to the side. So your feet are sole to sole. This is our supine bound angle pose. So just allowing the knees to fall out wide, feeling this gentle stretch through the hips. And then bringing your hands to the outside of your thighs, you can use your hands to slowly draw your knees back in together here. And the knees come in towards your chest. Go ahead and cross your ankles, bring your palms to the tops of your knees, and we're going to make some little circles with the knees. So drawing circles around with the knees, feeling your little massage in your tailbone here as you take your circles around. And then we'll switch directions, drawing our circles around the other way. And then pausing for a moment with the knees drawn into your chest. See if you can tuck your chin slightly towards your chest as you press your tailbone into the mat. Feel the whole length of the spine flattening into the mat here. And then release that squeeze, keeping the hands on the knees. We're going to slowly begin to rock and roll forward and back along the length of the spine 2-3 times until you have the momentum to come up to a seat. And we'll meet in our Sukhasana pose or easy seated pose, cross-legged on the mat. Next inhale, right away, arms reach up to the sky. Maybe your gaze follows your hands. Then with the exhale, we're going to take a twist to the right. So we're going to bring left hand to right knee, right hand behind. We're going to straighten out the spine, lifting up through the crown of the head. Chin is parallel to the floor. And then with your next inhale, nice and slow, slowly drawing a line with your nose all the way up towards the ceiling until eventually the head leans back all the way, gazing up towards the ceiling. And then with an exhale, slowly moving your chin all the way back down again, and then tucking your chin towards your chest at the end of the exhale. Inhale once again to lift, looking up towards the sky. And exhale to tuck the chin towards the chest, nice and slow. And then chin comes back to neutral, keeping your left hand where it is on the right knee. We're going to inhale, reach up with the right fingertips, and then reach towards the front corner of the room. Nice deep stretch through the back right ribs here. And then inhale to come back up through seat. This time with the next inhale, we'll draw both arms up through center. And then we'll take that twist over to the left. So right hand to left knee, left hand behind, finding that nice straight spine. With your next inhale, slowly turning your gaze up towards the ceiling, lifting the chin as your head falls back. And then exhale to slowly tuck the chin towards center, lengthening the back of the neck. Another one like that, moving with your own breath. And then chin comes back to neutral. With your next inhale, left arm reaches all the way up and over towards the front of the room. And then all the way back up again through center. This time we're going to bring both hands to the knees. With an inhale, draw your shoulder blades back as you draw your chest forward and up. Gaze lifts slightly, so whole chest is moving forward as your shoulders move back. And then with an exhale, rounding the whole upper back. The shoulders are moving towards each other in front, chin tucks to chest. And then inhale to come forward again, shoulders draw back. And exhale to round. This is like a seated modification of our cat-cow. We'll do a few more like that, moving with your own breath here. Let's do one more. And then coming back to sit upright and neutral, we're going to take some Sufi grinds. So some big circles, bring the torso over to the right and then around through front and center to the left and around the back, finding that rounding in the upper back, keeping the circle going this direction. You can play with the diameter of your circle a little bit. You could introduce some movement in the shoulders or neck as you bring it around if you like. Finding some fluidity here. And then we'll change directions, bringing the circle around the other way. If you can keep both your hip bones grounded into the mat here, as you bring the whole upper torso around. And then coming back through center. Beautiful. From here, we're going to cross the ankles, hands come down in front, and we'll slowly transition into a tabletop position. Coming onto all fours. So taking a nice neutral tabletop here, your belly button's drawing up and in towards your spine. Tailbone is tucked slightly. Your gaze is down between your hands, so the back of the neck is nice and long. And then with your next inhale, we're going to step the left foot back, coming onto the toes of the left foot here. And then just press back into your left heel. You can find that nice deep calf stretch. And then once you have that stretch, we're going to pulse it a little bit. So just slowly shifting your body weight forward and back. Maybe even a little bit side to side, just extending the stretch here, feeling into the whole muscle. And then releasing that, we're going to swing the right foot over to the side of the mat, make a little kickstand here as your left foot steps back all the way. And then reaching up through the left fingertips, we're coming into a supported side plank. So opening the whole chest up to the left side of the room. Staying here for another inhale, reaching up through the fingertips, maybe even allowing your shoulder to fall back a little, opening the front of the chest. And then we'll bring all of that back through center and return to our tabletop position. This time, the right foot steps back, coming onto the right toes, tucking the toes under, and then slowly pressing back into the right heel, finding your stretch here. As you're ready, you can introduce that gentle pulse, a little movement forward and back. Maybe shifting the heel a little side to side. If you can find sensation in the entire calf muscle here. And then from here, we'll swing the left foot off the edge of the mat. Right foot steps back all the way. Inhale to lift up, supported side plank to the right. Stay for a big inhale. Stay for the exhale. And then we'll slowly come back to our tabletop position. From here, we're going to tuck the toes under. With an inhale, press into the mat as you lift your knees just an inch or two. We're just going to hover here for a moment. Position. Core is engaged, belly button draws in. And then with your next inhale, continue to lift the hips all the way up and back, coming into a downward facing dog. So first down dog of the day, you can take any movement here that's calling to you. You could pedal out your feet, maybe bending one knee and then the other. You could shift your hips a little side to side. Maybe see how it feels to bend one elbow and then the other. A little bit of twisting motion in the upper body. And really, think of spreading the fingers out wide. The whole base of the palm here is taking your weight. So see if you can press your finger knuckles into the mat. Whole base of the palm pressing into the mat. We'll stay for one more big inhale. One more big exhale. And looking forward between the hands, we'll slowly walk ourselves all the way up to the front of the mat into our forward fold. You can bend the knees just as much as you like here. It feels good to have a little bit of support. You can place some blocks under your shoulders. Otherwise, just letting everything hang heavy here, hang loose. Feel like you could reach for opposite elbows. Inviting a little sway side to side. Could shake your head a little, yes and no, allowing the neck to go completely soft. And then we'll release the hands to the mat with an inhale. Slowly roll your spine up one vertebra at a time. Coming all the way up to standing nice and slow. Head comes up last, arriving in Tadasana, mountain pose. So we'll just take a beat here. Your arms are heavy at your sides, palms facing forward. Really feel yourself grounding through the entire base of your feet. Shoulders are soft, sliding down your back. And then with your next inhale, we'll take the arms out wide, hands together to touch overhead, gaze lifts. And exhale to draw your hands down through heart center. We'll do that one more time. Big inhale, arms sweep, reaching all the way up, hands to touch. And exhale, gathering your hands down, Samasthiti. From here, we're going to curl the first three fingers under. So taking our steeple grip, we keep the index finger extended here. With your next inhale, index finger shoots up towards the ceiling. And then with an exhale, we'll draw a line over to the right side of the room as your hips press to the left. And stay here for a full breath. The top left shoulder is rolling back, opening the front of the chest. And then inhale to come back up through center. Exhale to take it over to the other side. Fingertips to the left, hips to the right. Making this beautiful crescent moon shape with the body here. And inhale back through center. This time with our exhale, we'll take the hands all the way around to the low back, pressing your palms into the either side of the sacrum. Inhale to lift the chest, draw your elbows towards each other. Gazing up towards the ceiling, even pressing your hips forward a little bit if you like, finding a little bit of a back bend, if that feels okay in the low back. And then we'll come back up through center with our exhale. We're going to slowly bend forward, slide your hands all the way down the backs of your legs, coming back into our deep forward fold. And from here with an inhale, we'll come up halfway. Your hands can come to your shins or to your blocks. Find this right angle here between the upper body and the legs supporting you. And then exhale to slowly release forward. Plant your hands down. We're going to step it back to a plank pose. So coming into our high plank pose, you can always lower the knees to the mat to take a little modification there, support the low back. Otherwise, knees are lifted, pressing back through the heels. Core is engaged. Pressing the mat away with your hands, create some space between your shoulder blades. And then with an exhale, we'll slowly lower all the way down onto our bellies. Untuck the toes. And then with your inhale, we'll come up into baby cobra. So your elbows are tucking close to the body. Gaze and chest are lifting. Exhale to release, let that go. Then inhale, press yourself up to all fours, and then hips come all the way back into our extended child's pose. So arms are reaching forward. Your knees can be touching, or we can bring the knees out to the width of the mat. So yogi's choice, whatever feels better in your body here. Staying here for another 2-3 breaths, feeling the whole back beginning to lengthen, feeling the stretch through the hips. I'll be offering some hands-on adjustments tonight. If that's not something you're comfortable with, please just go ahead and give me a little wave, and I'll honor that. Beautiful. Stay for one more inhale. One more exhale, hips pressing back towards your heels. And then bringing the whole body up again onto your hands. We'll tuck the toes, hips lift up and back. Downward facing dog. Looking forward between the hands. Once more, we'll walk up to the front of the mat. Option to take a hop here if you like. And then with an inhale, arms reach forward, arms reach all the way up, coming into Urdhva Sthasana. And exhale, hands down through heart center. Beautiful. We'll take a little modified sun salutation here. So inhale, arms sweep up, hands touch. Exhale to draw your prayer hands down in midline down your body, forward fold. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale to release your left foot steps back. Coming into a lunge, we'll lower the left knee down to the mat, untucking the back toes. Inhale, both arms reach up, hands to touch. Option to find a little back bend here if this feels good. And then we'll exhale, both hands back down to the mat, tucking your left toes. We're going to step the right foot back to a downward facing dog. Big inhale through the nose here. Big exhale out through the mouth as you slowly sink to your knees. And we're going to press it back to child's pose again, just for a beat here. With the inhale, slowly press yourself up one more time. This time we're going to lower the hips all the way to the mat as your chest comes forward and up, making a transition to upward facing dog. If you like, you could press the tops of your feet into the mat, maybe hover the knees a little if that's available. And then release that. Hips come back, tuck the toes, press it up and back to a downward facing dog. With your inhale, your right leg sweeps high to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale to step your right foot through, and then left foot steps up to meet it. Inhale, arms reach forward, come all the way up, Urdhva Sthasana, hands to touch. And exhale, hands through heart center. Take that to the other side. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, prayer hands down the front of the body. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale to release it down. This time, right foot steps to the back, right knee to the mat. Untuck the toes. Inhale, sweep it up. Beautiful. Anjaneyasana. Lifting the heart, maybe finding a little back bend on this side. And then hands come down to frame the front foot. Tuck those back, right toes, left foot steps back, downward facing dog. Big inhale through the nose. Big exhale, release as you sink down to your knees and press it back to child's pose. With your inhale, hips lift, hips come all the way forward, make your way to an upward facing dog. Inhaling at the top. And exhale to slowly release that. Tuck the toes back to downward facing dog. Inhale, this time left leg sweeps high. Exhale to step it through between the hands, right foot steps up to meet it. Inhale, arms sweep forward, all the way up to standing, hands to touch. And exhale, hands down through heart center. Let's take a moment here, checking in with the body. Option to close your eyes just for a moment if you like. Just noticing how your energy shifted. Maybe the heart rate's increased a little bit. Maybe we're beginning to feel some warmth in the body. Feeling the energy moving, feeling that energy even grounding down through our feet. And then open the eyes, inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale to come forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, release your hands down. We're going to step the right foot back all the way, and then left foot comes back to meet it in a high plank. Beautiful. Take an inhale here in our plank. And an exhale. And then we're going to shift both heels over to the right side of the mat. With an inhale, lift up through the left arm, coming into a full side plank. If you need to have some support, you can lower that bottom knee to the mat too. Otherwise, both legs reaching back, reaching up through the fingertips, and then exhale, that hand comes down as you come back through center. And we'll take both heels over to the left this time. Inhale, reaching up through the right fingertips, side plank on this side. And that hand lowers back down, coming back to our plank, and hips press up and back, downward facing dog. With an inhale breath, the right leg floats high up, three-legged dog. Exhale to step the right foot through between your hands. This time we'll keep that back knee lifted, coming into a runner's lunge. Option to use your blocks here to find a little more elevation if that feels good. Checking in with the stability in your hips. You can think of drawing your left hip forward a little bit here. Sometimes that helps to draw the two hips into one line. Looking forward as you're ready with an inhale, arms reach forward, arms come all the way up, crescent lunge. We'll go ahead and take our steeple grip again here too. So interlacing those front three fingers, index fingers lifted. Maybe a little hint of a back bend if that feels okay. And then with our exhale, we're going to keep the legs where they are. Go ahead and point towards the front of the room as your whole torso comes forward. And then inhale to reach back, pointing towards the back of the room. Exhale to come forward. Inhale, reaching back. Last time, exhale, coming forward, bringing your weight into that front right foot. We're slowly going to bring the left foot up and draw the left knee all the way up, coming into our one-legged mountain pose. Finding some balance here. Finding a single point of focus to hold your gaze. One more inhale here. And with an exhale, we'll step that foot back all the way back to our crescent lunge. Both hands come down to the mat. Back foot steps up to meet your right. Inhale, arms come forward all the way up to standing, hands to touch. And exhale to Samasthiti. Beautiful. Pausing here for a full breath. And next inhale to reach up. Exhale, coming forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, release. This time, right foot steps back. And left foot steps back to meet it in our high plank. Inhale here. And an exhale. And we'll drop both heels over to the right, reaching up through the left arm, side plank. Exhale, that arm comes back down. Back through center, and then heels come over to the left. Side plank to the other side. And that hand comes back down, back through center, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, the right foot slopes high. Exhale to step it through. I think we are on the wrong side, aren't we? Let's switch feet. So we're gonna have left foot coming forward. There we go. That's right. And then inhale, arms reach up, finding our crescent lunge on this side. Once again, taking that steeple grip, if that felt okay in the shoulders. Maybe a little back bend here. Big inhale. And exhale, coming forward, pointing to the front of the room. Inhale to reach back and open. Exhale, coming forward. One more time. Heart lifts, fingers point back. Exhale to come forward, weight into your front foot. Back foot slowly comes forward, lifting up with the knee. One-legged mountain. Finding your balance here, finding some stillness. Big inhale. And exhale to step that foot back all the way, coming back to our lunge. Both hands come down to frame the front foot. And back, right foot steps up to meet your left. Inhale, arms reach forward, coming all the way up to standing, hands to touch. And exhale, hands down through heart center. Beautiful. So we're going to switch that up a little, kind of build on the flow we've got going here. So inhale to reach. Exhale to come forward. Inhale, coming up halfway. Exhale, release it down. Right foot steps back. Left foot steps back to meet in a high plank. Taking a full breath here. And then we'll drop both heels to the left this time. If you want to take it a little further, if you can hover the left foot slightly. Cool. And then we'll come back through center. Take the heels over to the other side. Reach it up. An option to hover that top leg. And coming back through center. Hips come up and back, downward facing dog. Let's take a big cleansing breath here. And then inhale as your right leg comes high. Exhale to step it through. Inhale, both arms reach up. This time we're going to keep the hands separated, coming into our traditional crescent lunge. So the fingertips are energized. Imagine you could shoot lightning bolts out the fingertips, but we still have the softness in the elbows, softness in the shoulders. Beautiful. And then we'll slowly open out to warrior two, bringing the left foot flat to the mat. Arms reaching in opposite directions here. And play with the depth of the bend in that front knee. Maybe taking a slightly wider stance if you like. Finding a steady posture. And then with your next inhale, we're going to lower the left hand to your back leg, reaching up through the right, reverse warrior. That back arm can stay on the back leg, or option to wrap it around behind the low back, taking a little half bind here. Beautiful. Another big inhale. Feel this lift all through the front right rib cage. And then with our exhale, we'll open back out to warrior two. We're going to shift the weight into that front right foot and then slowly begin to come forward, making our way into half moon pose. So some different options here. You can reach for your block, find a block for some support. Maybe your hands coming all the way to the mat. That top arm's lifted. Imagine you could draw the two arms into one vertical line. Back leg is energized. Your back foot is flexed. One more inhale here, reaching up. And then rebend into the front knee, back foot comes flat again, arms open back out, warrior two. And then we'll take both hands down to the mat. Right foot steps back to meet your left. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Big inhale through the nose. Big exhale out through the mouth. Looking forward between your hands, you can walk, step, or hop up to the front of the mat. Inhale, arms come forward, reaching all the way up. Hands to touch. And exhaling, hands through heart center. Beautiful. We'll take all that to the other side now. So inhale to reach. Exhale, bring your prayer hands forward. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale, release it down. This time the right foot steps back, left foot comes back to meet it in plank. Big inhale here. Big exhale. Both heels coming over to the right. Inhale to reach up through the left fingertips. Side plank. Option to float that top leg. We gave that a go before. And then we'll come back through center. Both heels over to the left. This time right fingertips reach up. Option to float the top leg. And then coming back through center. From here, hips reach up and back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, left leg sweeps high this time. Exhale to step the left foot through, finding your runner's lunge. Option to come up onto your blocks. Finding a nice steady lunge as you're ready. Inhale to reach up, rise up, crescent lunge. Couple of breaths here. So opening into this posture. Nice and slow, you can play with the width of your stance, finding that energy through the arms, but allowing your shoulders to soften away from your ears. Beautiful. Imagine you could create some width in the back of the shoulder blades here. Let's have one more inhale here, reaching up. And then with our exhale, we'll slowly open out to warrior two. Nice, back foot comes flat to the mat, arms reaching forward and back. Taking a peek down at that front knee. If you notice that it's beginning to drift towards the midline at all, you can use the strength of your inner thigh to kind of draw it back. Beautiful, nice and strong. Lovely. And then as you're ready with your next inhale, we'll flip that front palm and then reach all the way up and back, coming into your reverse warrior. Beautiful. As you inhale here in your reverse warrior, feel this whole front of the rib cage expanding and lifting. Imagine you could reach the back wall with that top arm, a big opening. And then with an exhale, we'll open back out to warrior two. Find your stable footing here, really grounding through that front left foot. And then as you're ready, your weight begins to come forward, coming up onto the back right toes, and then eventually lifting off with the back foot as you come into your half moon pose. So we're looking for almost like a plus shape with the body here. So the whole chest is opening out to the side of the room. Really nice. There. That's great. Reaching up through that top arm. Yeah, I'm just going to give you, no, you're great right there. I'm just lifting, just coming up onto your toes even for today is great. There you go. And then you're focusing on this shoulder moving back a little. Beautiful. Really nice. And then slowly letting that back foot come back to the mat. And then opening back out to warrior two. Really feeling yourself pulled by your fingertips in opposite directions here. Nice. And then we'll slowly bring the hands down to the front of the mat. Front foot steps back, downward facing dog. Big inhale through the nose. Big exhale out through the mouth. Looking forward between the hands, you can walk, step, or hop up to the front. Inhale, arms reach forward all the way up to standing. Hands to touch, and exhale to draw your hands down through heart center. We'll flow through all that one more time now, just a little faster, moving one breath to movement. So inhale to reach up. Exhale, coming forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, release. Right foot steps back. Left foot steps back to meet it in plank. Inhaling at the top of your plank. Exhaling, and both heels over to the right. Reaching up through the left fingertips, side plank, option to hover that top leg. And letting that go, we'll come back through center. Both heels over to the left. Opening up into the side plank. And release. Come back through center. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Big inhale. Big exhale. And inhale to draw your right leg high, 3-leg dog. Exhale to step the right foot through. Rise up to crescent. And with your exhale, we'll slowly open to warrior two. Inhale to reverse or graceful warrior. Exhale, come back to warrior two, and then make your way into your half moon pose. Holding here, big inhale. And exhale, step it back, warrior two. And both hands to the mat. Step it back to downward facing dog. Look forward between your hands. We'll walk or hop to the front. Inhale, arms sweep forward all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hands through heart center. Last time, last side, inhale, reach it up. Exhale, all the way forward. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, release this time. Left foot steps back, right foot steps back to meet it in plank. Inhaling here. Exhaling here. And this time we'll drop both heels to the left. Inhale to open up with the right fingertip, side plank. And draw it back through center. Both heels over to the right, up through the left fingertips. And back through center. Hips come up and back. Downward facing dog. Big inhale. Big exhale. And inhale to take the left leg high. Exhale to step it through. Inhale, rise up to crescent. Exhale, open out, warrior two. Inhale to reverse, reaching up, reaching back. And exhale, back to warrior two. Making your way into half moon pose. Finding that elevated plus sign with the body. And step it back to warrior two. Opening out here. And then we'll take the hands to the mat. And step it back to downward facing dog. Big inhale. Big exhale. And then make your way to the front of the mat. Inhale, reach it forward, arms come all the way up, hands to touch. And exhale through heart center. Beautiful. There's a lot of planking there, so that's a hard work. You guys will feel that tomorrow, but it's all good. All right, from here, we're gonna step the right foot back all the way to the back of the mat. Come back this way. I'm gonna flip around here, so I'm facing you guys. From here, we're gonna bring the toes in towards each other. Heels come out a little bit further. Inhale to press the palms together, reach all the way up. Exhale, take those arms around behind your back, find an interlaced grip. If you have the interlaced grip, you can draw your knuckles down, maybe away from your low back, lifting up with the heart, shoulder blades squeezing towards each other. And then with an exhale, we'll slowly come forward, wide-legged forward fold, letting it go all the way. You still have that interlaced grip, maybe moving the knuckles back a little closer to the back of your head. And then you can release that grip now. Hands come down to the mat in front of you. You can bring hands to blocks if you need a little more support. We'll be here for a few breaths now. So we've got some time to play around. If taking a headstand as part of your practice and you want to move into that now, you're welcome to go for it. If you'd like a deeper stretch in the back of the hamstrings, the calves, you could try reaching around for the back of the heels. See how that stretch feels. Another option is to walk the hands back between your legs. And wherever you are, imagine that you're trying to draw your heart towards the mat rather than the crown of your head. So we want to keep that length through the chest rather than rounding everything in. Beautiful. Really nice. Using your breath to help find some softness here, some looseness. Beautiful. Just notice if there's anything that you're holding on to here, you don't need to be. See if your next exhale, you can let that go. And then from here, we'll go ahead and bring our hands to our hips. Press firmly into both feet. Nice straight back, coming all the way back up to standing. Then we're going to go ahead and draw the heels in towards each other. Your toes are pointing out wide. Inhale to reach up with the arms. With an exhale, we're going to bend the knees and bend the arms. So taking our elbows out wide, moving into our goddess squat. So you could have the palms of your hands facing the ceiling. That feels good. Imagine you're supporting the entire weight of the ceiling here. Beautiful. Your knees are pressing out. All four corners of the feet engaged. And you can tuck your tailbone under just slightly. Feel the core engage here. And then if you like, we can introduce a little pulse, just slowly lifting and lowering with the hips. Becoming a little deeper into the squat. Beautiful. And then pausing here, one more inhale, one more exhale. And then with your next inhale, straighten through the legs, straighten the arms, star pose. Take up as much space here as you possibly can. And then release the arms down. We'll go ahead and step back up to the front of the mat. Nice. Hands come to heart center. This time we're going to step the left foot back about halfway down the mat. So the toes are pointing towards the front corner of the room. And if you notice your hips are facing the side of the room, you can think about drawing that left hip forward. So the two hips are in one line here. And then hands back to heart center. Big inhale. You can lift your gaze slightly. Imagine you could lift your collarbone towards your thumbs. And then keeping that length in the spine, we'll go ahead and fold forward. We're going to stop in this halfway position. So the torso is parallel to the mat. Beautiful. And then keeping that length in your spine. Your next exhale, you can continue to fold forward. At this point, you can reach for your blocks with your hands. Maybe your hands are coming all the way down to the mat. This is our pyramid pose. So the legs are nice and strong, but the whole upper body is soft here. So imagine that the whole upper body is like a piece of fabric. You're just draping it down over that front thigh. Nice and soft. Can you press this knee back just a hair? Just like that. See how this feels. That gives you a bit more length through your spine. Beautiful. And then with your next inhale, we're going to come up about halfway. So we're on this side. And then keeping your, what is that? That's your left hand on the block. Right hand comes to your hip. We're going to slowly rotate the upper body open to the right side, coming into revolved pyramid pose. Nice. And then slowly let that go, coming back through center, both hands to hips, press firmly into your feet, come all the way up to standing. And left foot steps up to meet your right. Beautiful. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, drawing hands through heart center. This time we'll take the right foot back about halfway. Once again, maybe making that adjustment to bring both hips to come forward here. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale to come forward halfway. We're kind of stopping at this halfway position just to make sure we feel that length in the spine. So the tailbone's reaching back, crown of the head's reaching forward, feeling that extension. And then with your next exhale, continue to soften forwards. And at this point, we let all of that kind of rigid energy in the upper body go, just the legs supporting us here. So if you can feel this pyramid shape that your legs are making. So help you turn this foot just slightly. So your toes are, just a little bit more of an angle. It might give you a little more stability in your hips there. Beautiful. One more breath here. And then we'll find our revolved pyramid. So coming up halfway. So I'm grounding through the right hand, left hip, taking that twist over to the left. So the whole upper body is parallel to the mat here and twisting around the axis of the spine. And exhale to release, coming back through center, both hands to your hips. Inhale to rise up to standing. Right foot comes up to meet your left. Beautiful. And from here, we're going to make our way into tree pose. So we're straightening out the right leg, making that leg nice and strong. And then you can take the heel of your left foot to your ankle. You could take the sole of your foot to your calf, or you could take that foot all the way up to your inner thigh. So making your way into your version of tree. Finding a single point of focus for your gaze in front, or your drishti. And then as you're ready, maybe bringing hands to heart center. Finding some balance here, and balance doesn't always look like stillness. And that's all good too. If you want to play around with your arms a little bit, maybe beginning to grow the branches. Maybe beginning to extend your branches out wide. Maybe finding Jnana Mudra here, if you like. You could bring your thumb just to the top of your index finger nail on each side. And then we'll all slowly draw hands back through heart center. We're going to go ahead and bring that left knee to come forward, and then bringing your torso forward as you press that left foot back behind you, making our way into Warrior Three pose. So hands can stay to heart center. You could fly your arms out wide like an airplane. You could also reach for your blocks here, finding a little more support, if you like, finding a supported Warrior Three. Wherever you are, think of pointing your toes down towards the mat as you press back through your back left heel. And then with the next inhale, we'll slowly rise up to standing, 2 feet together to touch. Release your arms, give yourself a little shimmy shake there if that feels good. Let's take that to the other side. Inhale, arms sweep up. And drawing hands through heart center, we'll find our tree on the other side. So strengthening the left leg this time. Right heel to ankle, or wherever your foot is positioned. We want to avoid putting the foot on the knee. So as long as we're above or below the knee, it's all good. And then arriving here, finding some balance. Beautiful. Listening for your own breath. And then if you feel like playing around a little, we could grow the branches. Maybe taking them out wide. Maybe refinding that mudra. If you really want to test your balance here, try something crazy. You could try closing your eyes just for a moment. Suddenly all that stillness tends to disappear right away. And then we'll all slowly come back to Samasthiti, bringing the right knee forward, and then making your way into Warrior Three on this side, right leg extending back behind you, right toes pointing down towards the mat. Your right hip is lowering down in line with your left hip here. So see if you imagine you could balance a tea tray on your low back here. And then we'll slowly let that go, coming back upright, both feet together to touch, and release, let it all go. Another shimmy shake there if that feels good. Beautiful. And inhale, arms sweep up. This time we're going to take a big swan dive. Arms come out wide, really extending through the fingertips all the way forward. Inhale to come up halfway. Pausing in our halfway position here. Pressing back with the tailbone, extending the head forward. Feel all that length in the spine. And then exhale, release. Bringing your hands down to the mat. We're going to step the feet back to a high plank pose. One more plank, last one, I promise. Let's take a few breaths here. Core is engaged. Pressing back through the heels. Imagine you could make your whole body one straight line here. From your heels to the crown of your head. And then with your next exhale, slowly release all the way down onto your belly. Let it all go. Untuck the toes. And from here, we're going to draw the left arm out to a T position. Make our way into a half bow here. So the right knee bends, right foot comes back towards you, reaching back to the outside of your right foot with your right hand. Pressing your left hand into the floor here. And then as you're ready with an inhale, we're going to lift everything up. So inhale, kicking back into that right hand, left arm lifts, right leg is kicking up, kicking back, whole chest is lifting here. Everything coming up. One more inhale, kick and lift, and exhale to let it all go. Bring both arms alongside your body, bring your right cheek to the mat. And just let it go. Stay here for a few breaths. If you like, you could bend your legs at the knees and windshield wiper your legs a little side to side. And then releasing the legs back down. We'll take that to the other side. So chin comes back through center. This time the right arm comes out to a T, left foot kicks back. Finding the outside edge of your left foot. Gaze is forward, and then as you're ready with an inhale, kick and lift. So right arm is floating, left leg is kicking back behind you. The strength of your left leg is lifting your whole upper body here. Beautiful. Let's come up one more half inch. And just let that go. We'll go ahead and bring left cheek to the mat this time, arms alongside the body, and just release. Maybe windshield wipering the legs. Consciously feel your breath moving in and out of your body here. With your inhale, your belly presses into the mat. With your exhale, feel that space created by letting it go. And then chin comes back through center, bringing your hands beneath your shoulders. We're going to press ourselves up into a tabletop position here. Coming to a neutral spine to start. And then with your next inhale, we'll reach up with the left fingertips. And we're going to thread the needle here. So left arm comes under the right, rolling onto your left shoulder. Right hand can press into the mat to the side of your face, or option to extend it forward. You're reaching forward, maybe coming up onto your tented fingers here, finding a deeper, more active stretch through the shoulder. And just keeping it nice and soft. Final option is you could take that extended arm, wrap it around behind your low back. And you reach for the front of the hip crease. I'm going to take a little bind here. Beautiful. And then with your next inhale, bringing that hand back next to your face, you can press into your palm as you slowly unwind, reaching up for the ceiling one more time, and then both hands come back to the mat, back to our tabletop. And we'll take that to the other side. So inhale as your right arm sweeps up. And exhale to tuck the right arm under the left. threading the needle on this side. Same options with the arm. You could extend it forward or wrap it around behind your low back. Or keep it resting on the mat next to your face. Wherever you are, think of rolling over onto that shoulder. So really allowing your shoulder to take your weight here as you move into that twist. And then we'll slowly make our way out. So drawing the hand back next to your face, pressing into the palm to slowly unwind. Reach it up one more time. And exhale to come back. From here, we're going to draw the knees out to the width of the mat. Big toes together to touch behind. Sit your hips back all the way. And allow the arms to melt forward as you make your way into extended child's pose. And allow your forehead to rest on the mat, or maybe using a block for some support here. Not quite all the way. And let's just see how this feels, just so you don't have to hold up your head. Allow your neck to relax there. No? We'll stay here for one more big deep breath. And then looking forward, you can slowly walk your hands back towards yourself. We'll come to sit back on the heels. And then we're going to swing the legs around front. We're going to extend the right leg out long. Sole of your left foot comes to the inside of your right thigh there. Inhale to reach up. Your exhale, first we're going to twist the torso just so we're facing that extended leg, and then slowly folding forward. You can release your hands to either side of that front calf. Maybe reaching for your calf, maybe reaching for the toes. Or maybe not, it's all good. Janushirasana. You're getting a good stretch here. Stay right where you are. You want to play around a little bit more. You can take the left hand to the outside edge of your right foot and then swing that right arm all the way back behind you, looking back over your right shoulder, just deepening the stretch through the side of the body here. Just an option. And then we'll slowly release. Body comes back through center, lifting all the way back up. Nice. Let's see, from here, let's do a full stretch. So let's inhale to reach up. With the exhale, we're going to plant the left hand down on the left side. Point your right toes towards the floor. And then with an inhale, lift up with the hips. So reaching up, reaching back through that extended right fingers. Imagine you could shine your whole heart up towards the ceiling here. So we're opening the front of the chest, reaching through the fingers, maybe even pressing through that right big toe, full extension of the body. And then slowly softening back through center. Beautiful. Let's take that to the other side now. So we'll bend the right leg, left leg extends out. And take a moment, ground through your sit bones. Make sure you're nice and centered there on the mat. And then inhale to reach up. Exhale, turning to face the extended leg, and then slowly, softly coming forward. And we don't have to get there all at once. So you can allow yourself to arrive slowly in the pose. Allow your breath to softly open for you. And if we took that variation on the other side, you want to try that here, we'll reach for the outside edge of the left foot with the right arm. The left arm swings around behind the back, looking back over the left shoulder. And then we'll release that. So slowly lifting yourself back up through center. Inhale, both arms reach up. And then exhale to bring the right hand down to the right side of the mat, left toes point. Inhale to sweep up and back with that left arm, hips pressing up towards the ceiling, heart is opening towards the ceiling. Even think of showing your left armpit to the ceiling here as that left shoulder rolls back and open. And then slowly let that go. Come all the way back through center. This time we'll come into our bound angle pose, almost just how we started. So bringing the soles of the feet together to touch and drawing the heels in. Heels can be as close into the body or as far away as feels good for you. So whatever works right for your anatomy here is just right. With an inhale, draw your shoulders back, heart lifts. And then with an exhale, slowly folding forward. Want to deepen the stretch through your hips. You could press your elbows into the inside of your knees here. Just an option. So we are opening the inside of the hips, the thighs, but we're also getting a nice deep stretch through the low back and the hips here too. Just allowing all of that to open up. And then slowly coming back upright. You can use your hands to draw your knees together. And then feet come hip width apart, maybe a foot or two in front. And we're going to make our way into boat pose from here. So the fingers tuck behind the knees. Shoulders are moving back, and you can begin to lean back just to that point where you feel your core muscles begin to engage. Continue to lift the heart. You could come up onto your tippy toes here. If you're feeling good here, maybe begin to lift the legs parallel to the mat in front of you. Maybe even begin to straighten them all the way. If you want to play with your balance a little, you could release the back of your thighs, palms come to face up. So it's Navasana, boat pose. So we'll stay here for one more breath. One more inhale. And then slowly release the feet down to the mat. Beautiful. From here, we're going to continue to roll back one vertebra at a time, nice and slow, until you come all the way down onto your backs. Walk your heels in a little bit closer to your body. So feet are flat and hip width apart on the mat. Arms alongside your body. And we'll move into bridge pose from here. So with an inhale, pressing firmly into both feet, lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. Once the hips are lifted, if you like, you could begin to roll the shoulder blades a little closer towards each other. Option to take an interlaced grip here behind the back too. Your knuckles are pressing towards your heels. Think of rotating the inner thighs towards each other as you lift through the hips, squeezing the glutes, everything lifting up. And then we'll slowly begin to let that go. So release the grip, release your shoulders, rolling the spine down nice and slow. Low back comes down last. So you feel your sacrum, your low back making contact with the mat. Release your arms alongside your body. And we're just going to take a couple of pelvic rocks here. So bring your pelvis forward as you press your tailbone into the mat. And then roll it back, lifting up with the tailbone, drawing your belly button in closer to your spine. A couple more like this, just rolling the low back forward and back. And then let that go. We'll take another round of bridge. If wheel is part of your practice and you'd like to move into wheel pose now, you're welcome to. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and cue us for another round of bridge. So heels come in close. As you're ready with an inhale, press into your feet, lifting up all the way. And if you're taking the interlaced grip, maybe taking the opposite grip this time, different thumb on top. Shoulders squeezing in towards each other. Lifting up Really pressing firmly through the whole base of the foot here. We'll stay here for one more big inhale. And then slowly let it go. Rolling the spine down, releasing the low back down into the mat. Fall. And then extending both legs long. Stretching through the legs, drawing your arms overhead. We'll take a full body stretch, reaching through the fingertips, reaching away with the toes. And then from here, draw your knees up into your chest, making yourself into a tight little ball, wrapping your forearms over the front of your shins. And then keeping your knees bent, release your back down. We're going to roll both knees over to the right. A little supine twist here. And then we'll take that to the other side, both knees back through center. And then releasing the knees the other way. And then knees come back through center one more time, extending your legs long, making your way now into your final Shavasana. So you can reach for any props you might like to make yourself comfortable. You want another layer, some socks, whatever you need to make yourself cozy here. So you arrive in your Shavasana, taking one final, very conscious breath, noticing the entire length of the inhale, following for the completion of the exhale, and then just let your attention go. Nothing more to do here except relax and be. With your next inhale, slowly begin to gather your awareness back into your body. Want to make any little movements here with the fingers or toes. Finding some little circles with the wrists and ankles. Feels good. If you like, you could roll over onto one side and pause just for a moment in a fetal position. Wherever you are, taking one final moment of softness for yourself. Taking a moment to find some gratitude for yourselves for making this time, and gratitude to your amazing bodies for supporting you in this practice. As you're ready, you can slowly begin to press yourselves up. We'll meet back in Sukhasana, or easy seated pose in front of the mat. As you arrive, once again, closing your eyes or finding a soft gaze. And we'll take one final communal breath together to close our practice tonight. So let's all exhale to begin. And take a big inhale through the nose. Big soft exhale, sigh. You can draw your hands together, heart center. If you like, maybe taking a little bow here. And we'll close by saying namaste. Namaste. So thank you all for coming this evening, for sharing your energy with me and with each other. And yeah, take good care of yourselves. Enjoy your evening. Definitely drink lots of water. We did a lot of kind of deep core stuff there. So take some good care. Again, my name is Meredith. It's an honor to lead your flow tonight. I think I'm subbing again for Naomi next week. I can't remember, but she's back soon anyway. And then my regular classes are Monday and Friday evenings. So that's where I usually am on the schedule. And yeah, great to see you all. Okay, thank you. Thank you. And thanks, guys. Great to see
Meredith.
you.
That was tough, but good.
Okay, good. That's what we were going for tonight. So be kind to your body. Yeah, get some good rest tonight.
Thank you.
Great to see you. Bye, Laura. Bye, Christy. Thank you.